Alright. Hello, my name is Ethan. Have you ever gone in life and gone out of your way for someone just to, at the end of the day, to please no one? I'm sure most of us have. Throughout life, you're typically taught that it's a good thing to go out of your way for others, especially loved ones we want to go out of our way for, no matter what. But sometimes I believe it's not fully necessary, especially because sometimes when you try to please someone, at the end of the day, it pleases no one, and especially yourself. Okay. Personally, I have always tend to be a people pleaser. I often feel guilty if I don't do so, which can be pretty draining. What I would like to inform you about is that you don't always have to. And in fact, it's sometimes best to just save your own sanity and to do what you want. Just ignore what people are wanting. It's not always a necessary thing to do. Today, I would like to show a fable that I have found on Aesop's, I think. Um, the fable's name is The Man, the Boy, and the Donkey, showing a story about how trying to make everyone happy is not always the best move at the end of the day. And then I would like to share an experience I had so that we can connect both stories. I will start out by reading the Man, the Boy, and the Donkey. This story is a fable I found on Aesop's website. I believe it has an important message at the end that we could all benefit from. The story goes on about a man and his son and his donkey traveling to town. On their way, they start out by just the man and the son walking alongside the donkey, just to get or stopped by um, a person um, who said, "What's the point in having a donkey if you're not going to use it?" So, to please that person and not be judged, the man let his boy ride the donkey. On their way, they pass by another person for them to judge the father, or the boy, for letting his father drag along. So he got the boy off, and the father got on. And then eventually, they were like, oh, they were judging the dad for letting his poor son get dragged along. So then they both rode the donkey, and then another person said, well, that poor donkey, he's overburdened with both the son and the father. So then their bright idea, so that everyone was pleased, was to tie the donkey up by his feet and to carry them on their back. So on their way, the father got tripped up and the son lost his grip and the donkey fell into the river and drowned, which is kind of a little bit morbid, but it does show that at the end of the day, if they would have just traveled the way that they were going, the donkey would have still been alive. They would have gone to town. They would have gotten what they needed, and they would have been, you know, plus another donkey. At the end of this fable, there was a quote that I really liked. It was the quote went, it was, please all and none will be pleased, I believe is how it went. Um, but I think no matter what kind of person you are, if you are like me, a people pleaser, or if you just go out of your way for, a certain someone special to you, you can always take that story into account. But I would like to show a story of mine that's more relatable and not about your donkey drowning. So for my story, I um, when I was working at my last job, which was Sheets, I did overnight shift, and um, we were short staffed a lot. We were supposed to have 3 people. We would often have 2 people. And so what I would do is I would stay typically an hour or more after my shift just so that first shift didn't have anything to complain about, or, they were happy with how the store looked. And because during my shift, my third shift coworkers, if I did have 3 or if I had 2, would always complain about first shift. And then first shift would always complain about third shift. So, if everything's done, first shift isn't complaining about third shift and vice versa. But no matter what I did, even staying an hour after, I felt never appreciated for doing that, number one. And number two, you just can't please everyone. Because, yeah, that first day when I actually did do that, nobody seemed to complain. But then I leave and it's just, it's back to normal. So at the end of the day, I went on my way, tried pleasing everyone just for it to not benefit me, not feel appreciated, and it just wasn't worth it in the end because it was it was an overnight shift. I was definitely ready to go home. I would get off at 6 and leave at around 7:30, which sucked when I was in school. It was very draining. Um, so that's just a point. So that's more, real world that I'm sure plenty of people have dealt with. Like we all have dealt with coworkers arguing and trying to please one another. Um, as I've gotten older, to add to that, I've realized, it's any job. Like most jobs are like that. You're going to have people that you just can't please no matter what you do. And instead of sacrificing, your own sanity, going out of your way, trying to please them, it's best to just do what you can or do your best and don't go out of your way for them. If they don't like it, you did your best, stop there. Um, I know it's kind of odd hearing a story about a donkey to my gas station stories, but both of them have the same point. Don't go out of your way trying to please everyone. You will not be happy at the end of the day. Um, in the fable, I think it was perfectly stated with please all and you will please none. I really enjoyed that quote. Um, what I hope to get out of this is I just hope all of you with similar experiences learn that it's not always worth sacrificing your sanity for others. I want to thank you for your time. And if anyone has questions, I'll be happy to answer.